LQ1. You know I'm back with some of the craziest clips from all over the internet. You know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. Let's get to the video.
Bobby Kennedy doesn't get this. Bobby Kennedy didn't get this.
Let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon. Now he is. Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and different parts of Pennsylvania campaigning.
Elon Musk is the president of the USA. Well, he may as well be, because whatever he says is gonna go. He has Trump's ear in a way that no one else does. He's his main financial backer. He went all in on Trump in the final few months of the campaign. He pushed all his chips to the middle, and boy has it paid off big. Because sitting here today, he is $30 billion richer because of the election result. His net worth is nearly $300 billion, and it's only going to climb because whatever government contracts he wants, he gets. SpaceX is going to do everything. Tesla is going to be everywhere. You know, Cybertrucks, there's a consideration that Cybertrucks are going to be the presidential motorcade. Trump's considering it, and if Elon wants it, he's going to get it. So congrats, Elon Musk, and good luck, everyone else.
Sure? Yeah. Oh my fucking god. Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
The scariest coincidence ever. In 1952, a German space scientist named Werner von Braun wrote a book. The book was called The Mars Project, and it was all about a man named Elon colonizing Mars. The weird thing is, this book was written 19 years before Elon Musk was born. Now Elon Musk may bring Werner von Braun's book to life and really colonize Mars. Someone recently pointed this out to Elon on Twitter, and even he was surprised, saying, "Are we sure this is real? Do you think Werner von Braun maybe had a vision of the future?"
Trump said if he wins, he's going to appoint Elon as the head of the Government Efficiency Commission. And he did. Making Elon in charge of just making the government more efficient sounds like does it sound like a good idea? I mean, SpaceX, Tesla, well-run, good companies, very efficient. But then you have X. Elon just bought Twitter and then fired everyone. That was his main thing. He thinks most companies are just super bloated and they could do just as much work with much less people, so he just lays people off. Will he do that? Will he have the power to do that? Will he even get appointed? All very up in the air, and all of those questions are probably leaning towards no. But the fact that this is a possibility, that Elon's going to be in government, we live in the most interesting timeline.
Anytime Elon Musk is doing like a public appearance, he keeps jumping into the air, and everyone's been making fun of him for this because it's like, why the stay on the ground, dog? What are you doing? But what made it worse is I learned that he's jumping into the air and trying to make an X with his body.
No way.
which makes it so much worse. He's like stretching his limbs out trying to make an X. This is what he did on stage with Trump when he like formally announced that he's dark MAGA or whatever. Yeah. And then he's had a few more public appearances where he jumps into the air and makes himself into the shape of an X.
And he doesn't even come out there and like give good speeches either.
No, terrible.
Terrible speeches, like incredibly like low energy too.
It makes me think he doesn't even prepare for the speeches, honestly.
And he's kind of acting like he's Trump's running mate.
Yeah. Well, Trump has basically promised him a job. He's been saying that.
He promised him a federal agency, didn't he?
He said Elon Musk is going to run like the Department of like Government Efficiency or some shit like that.
That's crazy.
Deregulation, basically.
Like, I understand that Trump is saying that to like make him happy. I don't believe that he could actually do that, but I think Elon Musk believes that he would actually do that.
Somebody that has fooled everybody, but he simply cannot fool me, Elon Musk. He could possibly be the false prophet who presents the mark of the beast to the world and presents the Antichrist on the world stage. I mean, that's how evil I think he is. There's a good chance that the Antichrist is walking and breathing on this planet as we speak, which that means that the false prophet that comes along with the Antichrist is alive. So why do I think it's Elon Musk? He's not done anything he said he did. He's not a scientist. He's not a propulsion engineer. He don't make electric cars. He pays people to do it for him. He's one of the greatest scammers that humanity's ever seen. But I think he's actually a step further than just a con artist. I think he's evil embodied. And I can say that with confidence. Elon Musk is inventing chips that go in people's brains. And I'm telling you, that is the behavior to look for when you're talking about the Antichrist. There's going to be a mark in everybody's head, and there's going to be a mark in it or on their hand. Okay? That's what they call the mark of the beast. And I'm telling you, Elon Musk, if he hasn't invented the mark of the beast yet, he is laying the groundwork for the Antichrist to take that mark of the beast and implement it on all humans. And I'm telling you, that's beyond a con artist. That is evil embodied.
Memphis, the capital of ancient Egypt.
Right. Yeah, you're bringing what?
Perhaps that's where our new God will come from.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, I wish that was funny. Yeah, okay, so I want to talk to you about a line that...
I wish that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy laughter in another room, and she drove herself to madness with a silver spoon. Ooh, witchy woman, see how high she flies. Ooh, witchy woman, she got a moon in her eye.
Breaking news, Elon Musk has just put into play an end times Bible prophecy and no one is talking about it. Elon Musk's company Neuralink has just successfully planted a brain chip into its first human recipient. This brain chip has officially allowed this person to control technology with just using their thoughts. The Bible says that in the last days before Jesus comes again, there will be a mark placed on either your forehead or on your right hand. And this is the same technology that may actually be even used by the devil to institute a one world order, a one world religion, a one world army, and a one world currency. I want you to ask yourself, what happens when the entire world is neurolinked and dependent on a system and a chip such as this? If you know that Jesus is coming soon and you want to stay up to date with Bible prophecy, subscribe now and watch the video down below.
An X that when mirrored perfectly resembles the Freemason logo.
Jesus Christ.
Elon Musk just changed the Twitter logo from its classic bird to an X. An X that when mirrored perfectly resembles the Freemason logo. I would think that this was just a coincidence, but that would mean that I would have to believe that all of these logos that represent Freemasonry and satanic symbolism are also coincidences. Which they're not.
Watch this.
Elon Musk is part and parcel of the signs of the end time. Is he the Antichrist? The word Elon, Elyon, which is also the word Elon, which simply means God the strong one. And it so happens that Elon Musk is working with NASA. When we get NASA in the Hebrew, it is also the word Nachash, which means snake. Show us the logo with something that looks like that. The devil is no longer hiding. The devil is also referred to as Morning Star. And then we have a command called Starlink. Now they are putting Neuralink in your brain, but it's more dangerous than chemical weapon because the enemy can still use it. This is the way you write it in Greek. 20 plus 50 plus 10 plus 30. Let me not waste your time. It's 666. And the Bible says the devil is the king of the airwaves. So the SpaceX says he was buying to control communication. Then he put X to control narratives. That doesn't mean he himself is the Antichrist. No, but he's an intellectual who doesn't know the word. So there are individuals who will help the platform to be built so that when the enemy comes, he will do it easily.
When I was a girl, I was procured and sent to work for a family. There was a boy, the boy's mother, and the boy's grandfather. They were coming from Africa. They were white as me. I thought they'd be black. And because of something the boy did, I never told what he did. The boy did something very dark. And he was very little. And then one day I asked someone in the circle, Imelda, Joaquin's mother, I asked Imelda, I said, is he the Antichrist? I was 13 years old. She didn't even blink. She said, no, but he will present the mark. And when you see him do that, the Antichrist will take the stage. So, now here we are, 40 years later. Boom, that boy is the star of the world. The boy's name then was Elon. It's changed over time. We're 40 years later. And I see that boy everywhere, and the world adores him, but he's the king of Babylon.
You can then make a connection between Assyrian and Babylonian texts with biblical texts, also with the Torah, right? The Old Testament of the Bible, the Quran. So all of a sudden you're seeing that the Quran, the Bible were written at a much newer time period than these ancient tablets. Why are they saying the same identical things as the ancient tablets? That's the first big question mark you have to ask yourself. So now you have to go back and convert these languages, Aramaic, Hebrew, and everything else. And you got to begin to look at the origin of these sources for these books. And you realize 90% of it's coming out of ancient tablets that existed for thousands of years, well documented. No need to look that up or Google it because it's an absolute known fact. These tablets are thousands of years old, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 years old, and they're sitting in the British Museum. But like, for example, the Epic of Gilgamesh is giving you the full story of Noah's Ark. You're even given the shape of the ship he built, not the ship dimensions in the Bible. The original dimensions of the boat is a circle, right? It's a disc that he built, not a gigantic boat. The story in the Bible is a little off, but the generalization of the story is coming directly from these ancient tablets.
20 years after Jerusalem was taken, the Dome of the Rock was seized by a group of warrior monks calling themselves the Knights of the Temple of Solomon, or more simply, the Knights Templars. In Jerusalem, the Templars began to deviate further and further away from the practices of Christianity. They learnt the secret arts of the Kabbalah, an ancient form of Jewish magic, along with its dark rites and rituals. The Jews had learnt the arts from the pagans of ancient Egypt during the times of enslavement to the Pharaoh, and developed them into Babylon at the time of Nebuchadnezzar. In 1307, King Philippe of France arrested them for charges of denial of Christ, homosexuality, and idol worship, as well as magic.
I knew that I would never ever search you. But the tears they tried on their own. And now you're blowing up my phone. Just take a bow, baby. Just take a bow. You took no one notice. Oh, but now just take a bow, baby. Just join the crowd.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order.
You know that the Knights Templars had one of the largest fleets in the world? Did you know that one of their symbols is the skull and bones? Did you know that on every grave of the Knights Templars in Europe is the skull and bones? Did you know that when the Templars were destroyed by the Pope and the King of France, the entire fleet escaped and became the pirates? Didn't you ever wonder why the pirates were called the Brotherhood? Didn't you ever wonder why they could all sail into the same port and never fight against each other? Didn't you ever wonder where the Templars' fleet went? Didn't you ever wonder where the skull and crossbones came from? Didn't you ever wonder why the Russell Trust at Yale University is called the Skull and Bones? George Bush is a member. He's a Knights Templar.
me tell y'all a true story, B. So boom, watch this video to the end. Remember? I showed you and I told you that Satan was the Statue of Liberty. Well, now I got something even more interesting to show you. Let's go. Nah, it's just a video game. Come on, bro. You do it too much, man. Pay attention. It's not a game. You ready? You ain't ready. Let's go. You ready for this? Because this is insane. Get ready. Really? Is that a heart? And why is it beating? Are they trying to tell us that the Statue of Liberty is alive or is going to come alive one day? What do you think? Play with me, son. What are they trying to tell us? Because you know they always put it in our face. It's up to you if you want to see it or not. But you see, too many people are too deep into the matrix that even if they see it, they won't believe it. Let me show you something else. Let's go. Is this really lined up like this? Because this is a very interesting picture. So play with me, son. Between the light pointing up to the sky like he's the light bearer, you do know the earth belongs to him. He runs the earth. This is his playground. Stop playing with me, son. But we all know at the end, God's going to win. Let's get into another one. Very, very interesting. Stop playing with me, son. Is it really lined up like that? Was this the reason for the... Shh. Stop playing with me, son. Let me show you something else. I don't like this picture. But I'm just going to tell you, you know how God exists? Because evil exists. There had to be a balance. Thank you, Eve. Let me look at the back of my iPhone. Stop playing with me, son. If I ever go down there and I see this shit lined up together perfectly,
they turned it into a dream of a new utopia. They were the technological utopians who were rising up on the west coast of America. They turned Gibson's idea on its head. Instead of cyberspace being a frightening place dominated by powerful corporations, they reinvented it as the very opposite. A new, safe world where radical dreams could come true. 10 years before, faced by the complexity of real politics, the radicals had given up on the idea of changing the world. But now, the computer utopians saw in cyberspace an alternative reality, a place they could retreat to, away from the harsh right-wing politics that now dominated Reagan's America.
20 years after Jerusalem.
What is happening to the world that had so many different varying views, different nations, different ways of approaching things that can complement each other? Now we see politics is stripped of real power, that the economy governs all social exchange. We see that the states serve the financial power structures, that the real power is no longer in the hands of the generals, but the real power now switching to the hands of the people who run the economy, to the banking systems. And then we see that politicians play the role of public relations officers, only to control the masses, either by lulling them to sleep or by terrorizing them. And then we see that the masses of the people become helplessly preoccupied. Their lives are now bombarded with a series of cultural events. And these cultural events start to become the most important things in their lives. The World Cup, the Major League Series, the rugby, the cricket, the hockey, the tennis. Whatever the sport may be, we see whole nations coming behind sports. And the national heroes become sporting people, even in Saudi Arabia. Even in our own Muslim countries, the national heroes are now the soccer players. Who kicks the little ball inside of a net? He becomes the hero of the nation when people are dying on the ground. But yet we become preoccupied with this. And it becomes a type of indoctrination happening to us. And with the use of powerful music playing on our emotions.
That about wraps it up for today. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. You know we gotta hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. Let's go.